Okay, another feature we have for the hand carts to aid in your convenience is we built these little tables. And these little tables are designed to fit right in between the handles of your hand cart up near the front. Now, you're going to have to figure out how you tie this on, so you're going to have to use your own pioneering skills to figure out how to do that. A lot of people will put a 5-gallon cooler up here with water with the spigot pointing out to the side so you can easily fill your containers. And you can tie it to here. You can actually undo some of this and you can tie that to the frame. Okay? So that's using the table. Just make sure you don't drop it, and then you guys can use that. This is also a stand. You guys might figure out ways to support the hand cart. One thing you don't want to do, just a little bit about care, is carefully, if you're using these, set these things down carefully. Don't let the hand cart just drop on the ground. Likewise, when you're out on the trail, the back part of the hand cart is always hitting the ground when you're sitting it down. Of course, you know if you got this full of gear, your gear is going to dump out. But don't let this scrape along the ground because you'll tear up all the wood. So just treat these things with care. And you probably always want to have the stand. Let's have the stand. When you're stopping on the trail, or have people hold these. So these are pretty handy. Okay, now we've got the hand cart done, the tracks all done, you got a few blisters and you're tired. We got to take down the hand carts, whether you're taking it down as a family or just as the maintenance support team. But this assembly is going to be the exact reverse order of the assembly. But the point we want to make is make sure you got your bag, which probably, I should have told you, we usually tie these on the inside so they don't get lost. And as we take all the hardware off, make sure everything gets back into the bag, okay, for future use. And that's it. Okay, now we're going to show you how to stack up the hoops for storage, because we want to protect everything. E, F, and G with the arrows, it's just easier if we have them in order. Sometimes one will fit on top of the other better than others, so you just kind of have to see which one fits. You just put them all in a stack. All together, use the Velcro that you saved and put in the bag. Just put it around here, get it as tight as you can. And now you got that secured. Then you take the whole stack and using the cord that you had saved, slip it over the bottom, come up to the top, and just put a little bit of pressure on there. And there you go. Now you're ready to load it on the wheel rack. Okay, now we're going to be loading the wheel rack with all the components. We're just going to show you a few things about loading these things. Remember to protect these ends. And when we load these in, we load them with this end down. It would be easier if the letters were up because you could see them. But since they're riding on the metal racks, we put them down so the wear is there and not on the top of the frames. And we feed these in. Sometimes it helps to have a person underneath. Slide them over, and we'll usually put the long ones to the outside, or at least one of them, because the short ones don't span all of these 3 vertical supports. So we'll go like that, and then we'll slide one in between, and we'll get the other one. There should be enough room for all these to fit if you packed it good. And there you go. You have all these in here. And I'm going to show you on this end. We usually do it on both ends. These are just to keep the frames from sliding out during transport. So you can tie this up many ways. We'll just use a couple of half hitches here. There you go. Then we'll do that on the other side. Okay, we're going to show you how to load a wheel set up here. We'll take these knobs off that you put in here and saved from before. You might as well roll right into this. So, on this rack, remember the loading diagram. This is number 12 written right here, so we want the axle set number 12 to be set right here. And again, we have arrows pointing forward on the rack. They always point towards the front of the trailer. you'll see arrows all over here. So we're going to go ahead and lift these up here. Again, be careful with your hands. You don't want to pinch them. And you'll probably need somebody inside and outside as well. We're going to go up and over. Watch your hands. Okay, I got this one here. Watch your fingers. Okay. On this rack here, there'll be marks on the frame here, and it'll say where the axle goes. And I'm going to slide this out of the way, Scott. Let's just pull this over. See the little marks right here? That's where the axle will go, and there's the frame right there. And of course, it'll help you line up with your knob. So again, be careful with your alignment. Try not to strip anything. There's nuts welded underneath the tube. Move it into position. Make sure you're straight up and down. And when it's going freely, you want to snug these up. And that will hold the axles in place for shipping. Okay, now we're going to load the wheel racks into the traders. But prior to doing that, after we've loaded the frames, these boards that you've saved from before are marked. This says left rear, so it's going to go to the left side, and this is towards the rear. There's a shaved end right here. This will help guide the wheel sets onto the rack. You have to have these in place to properly load these racks. You will have done the same thing up front. You can also see boards down in there, and they look just the same. These help guide the wheels on. And they go up against the frame and sit just like that. The wheels will ride along the outside of here and up along the outside of here. If you don't use those, then the knobs that hang down underneath here can hit the frames that are up here. So you want to make sure that you get those in place. Okay, now we're going to take the wheel sets off. We're going to do it in reverse. We're going to have somebody up holding the handle because they can adjust it for us. Make sure you keep your fingers out of the way using your 9/16 socket. Undo these. By adjusting the height of the angle, you can tighten or loosen these. You should be able to just do this by your hand. Save your block and your bolts. Just want to keep it in alignment. You need to go up or down. Slightly, right? Okay, then we can just take this and roll the axle out from underneath. And there's your frame. I think we're going to go ahead and just load this frame while we're here. Same thing as last time, you need 3 people. So let's get someone up front on the handle.
Oh, you got it, you talk.
And 1 person on each side. So we're going to go in, the handle will be towards the rear. To load these, you want to put them in at the back first. Try not to scrape them on the metal. Get them into place. Move your fingers out of the way as you come down. Make sure you're pushed towards the front and you don't scratch these. Just come in between. Perfect. These brackets. So, the ones at the front, remember, match the number at the floor and the arrow goes forward. These have to be in this direction so that the racks can go by here. And don't cross-thread the bolts, please. Everything should be mostly go by hand.
Darian, would you get those wrenches that were where we took the wheel set
Yeah, I'm
off?
going to show this one. Now on these here, you guys got to make sure that these are crossing both of these members like this on a 45-degree angle. Arrow goes forward, 1H, 1H. You just want to snug these down. Don't over tighten them because you'll bend this metal bracket. You just want to make it so that these don't slide around. They won't slide around, you just don't want them to come up. I'm going to make another note right here too. These bolts down here that hold these frames, you should never have to undo these bolts here. They're bolted through the floor and they should never be taken out at any time. And another point, these racks, when you have unloaded for the track, bring the racks back in here and leave them in here. Don't leave these racks out on the ground.
This is not a camper. This trailer is not a camper.
Oh yeah, this trailer shouldn't be used as a camper. That's it, just kind of snug, and these won't move around. Make sure these are all in the right way. You're good there. So these wheel sets can come through here. Okay, so this is where we need to keep storing all of these protectors for the chassis. We just lay them down on each layer as you build all these stack going up. So that's ready to go. That's where we'll store it. Okay, now when you get all these sides loaded into the frame, we still have some left over. So we store these on the side on the top. We'll just go in there like that. Take another set. We'll load these in here. And we're also loading all the little table trays that we had. Got to load these. Okay, that should be on these racks on the front. We only have 6. We could have 7 on the rear racks, so we have 26 total carts. Now that we've loaded all the components here, the tables and the sides, we're going to load the hoops. And this is done by holding these like this. You want the hoop to the back. It just goes over and just line it up on the frame because this is where we're going to secure these. Not used to doing 2 at a time. Oh. Okay. Okay, so this one was too loose, so this is what you need to do on this one, you guys. Just loop it through there like that and make a loop. Pull it down, and there you go. Okay, on the back one we're going to have, should have 7 hoops for all the right numbers. And we secure these so they don't right size hook. Okay. We have the right size bungee, so we're gonna shorten it up a bit. Make a few extra loops here. Maybe that'll work. There we go. And that'll just keep these from shifting off of here.